We're learning more about the Chicago mother and daughter who were released by Hamas today. One family member says the teenage daughter could return home to the U.S. as early as next week. These are photos of President Joe Biden having a conversation with Judith and Natalie Renan. Both are currently in the care of the Israel Defense Forces. No word on when the mother would be able to return to the U.S. The family back in Illinois says they're so relieved to hear that they both are safe.
I'm so happy you're finally coming home. We've all missed you so much and hoped you were alive and safe. And we know you're so brave and strong. And that's how you and your mom made it through this.
So far, those two are the only hostages that have been released by Hamas. Also tonight, we're hearing from a parent who says her stepson is believed to be one of the hundreds of people still being held hostage. Family members of Sagi Dekelhen say that he put up a fight against the terrorists before he was captured. News4 Jax reporter Eric Avanier joining us live in the studio after speaking to Dekelhen's stepmother.
Well, Kent, her stepson is a husband and father of 2 children with a 3rd child on the way. His family says he disappeared while fighting terrorists who came into his home. Now, they strongly believe he is now being held as a hostage. Sagi Dekelhen's stepmother, Gillian Kay, describes her stepson as a person who genuinely cares about the well-being of others, volunteering his time and resources to help people less fortunate. So on October 7th, when Hamas terrorists invaded Israel, her stepson reportedly sprang into action to protect his family and his community.
At 6:30 in the morning, Sagi woke up. He heard noises. He saw the terrorists beginning to come into the kibbutz. He locked his wife and kids in their safe room, and he went outside and began to do surveillance, going from roof to roof. We understand now, this is what we've learned, all over the kibbutz, reporting to the security team, which he was part of, the security team, where the terrorists were, what the movement was, where he saved a lot of lives.
Kay says she learned her stepson not only provided intel to the security team, but also aided them in battling the terrorists. She also says this went on for 3 hours until he realized the terrorists were going home to home.
He retreated back into his house when they were coming into the house. And we do know, or we understand and believe, that he was fighting to keep them out. When they broke in, he was engaged in what we think is hand-to-hand combat with them in the house to try to protect his family. And from that minute on, there's no sign or report of him at all.
His wife and kids stayed in their safe room and were accounted for, but he was nowhere to be found. Because his body was never discovered, his family believes he was taken with other hostages back to the Gaza Strip. Last week, Kay's husband was on a phone call with President Biden, who reached out to families with missing loved ones.
I'm so impressed, and I've heard this from other families as well, of course, with President Biden's not just empathy, but commitment, and the depth of his commitment and understanding to bringing all the hostages back.
Now, Kay says she worries about Hamas using her son and other hostages as human shields. She also says Hamas must be eliminated because it's too difficult to live next to Palestinians with Hamas in control. Now, to see more of that interview, please go to our website, news4jax.com. We have posted the entire unedited version of my conversation with Ms. Kay. Live in the studio, Eric Avanier, Channel 4, the local station.